Right, so hi everyone. Totally wasn't feeling I was going to be on this soon, but you know how it goes. So yeah, long story short, yeah, if you're new to me, my name's Claire. Welcome to the fam. Subscribe if you haven't. If you're feeling the vibe, if you're a twin flame, you may as well, because that's what I channel about and who's for. Going to really try and make this as short as possible, but that could still be a while. But basically, I'm going to be disciplined with myself because we're in double Pisces energy, we're in Pisces sun and moon, and that is basically about no boundaries, right? So and my energy is a lot better than it was. I had a wee bit of a temperature last night and I was actually just, my heart was melting, like recalling how oh my god, like, so again, just actually think about it, right? So everything I say is channeling, so this is gonna have some sort of meaning to someone. So I feel it's like either like your kid, like, or like one of your children or your child has been a real sense of comfort, or a child around you, because like I say, this was my niece. But long story short, I didn't even know I wasn't feeling well, right? So like, to be honest, like, so it wasn't that bad is what I'm saying. But it'd been a long day, guys, right? I'm not going to go into the big story, but we went away on a wee day trip, me and my mum and my nieces, and I did have a feeling. I was kind of like, oh, do I wanted or not? And I thought my mum wanted to take them out, and I didn't want to. Well, I hadn't seen my older niece in a while, so I was like, right, do you know what? I'm going. So, and it was actually really fun, but it was just a long day, and there were tantrums, just tantrums from the wee one. But that's fine, right? Like I wrote in the post, she's just testing. She's an Aquarius moon rebel, and it was Aquarius moon. Um, and she's actually, I just realised, maybe that's got something to do with it. She's Pisces Sun Aquarius Moon, and that's what it was. Pisces Sun Aquarius Moon. Yeah. I always say, see, when the sun or the moon, particularly when the moon returns to your moon, your lunar return, which happens once a month, and obviously the sun is once a year, we know that. Because just to break it down for people that don't know what that means, um, I always find that, like, so for instance, to use me as an example, because that's what they usually get me to do, I'm Sagittarius moon. So when the moon is in Sagittarius, oh, I'm not a very good example because I do tend to really like. Anyway, okay, I'll not use me as an example because I actually do tend to always have a really good Sagittarius moon. Oh, but actually, okay, yeah, maybe no, I didn't this time because that was, yeah, okay, that's their point, yeah, because that was just a couple of. So what day was that? Was that Monday, Tuesday? Yeah. Okay, so there we go. That, and I now get it. I usually always love when the moon is in Sagittarius because it is optimistic. It's no matter how dark a situation, you can always find the positive, which is me. Like, trust me. I mean, if you've not already worked that out, if you've been around a while, you're fucking blind, right? Because again, I can find the light in the dark, and I can also be the light in the dark, even when I'm in my darkness. Um, but yeah, actually, when the moon was in Sagittarius just there, I wasn't having too good a time of it. But again, I already, my energy's picked up. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. The point is, I was tired, so, without going to the big massive story, I took them back to my sisters and my mum, because we were giving, their mum and dad a bit of a break and a bit of a day off and that. So before my sister got back, basically, my my mum was like making food and that, right? And I was like sitting and playing with them, they were just jumping all over me, right? And like um and they are both very loving with me anyway. Like, I look after the wee one once a week. Well, not because she goes to nursery soon, but like, um, and yeah, when I'm very close with both of them, right? I'm very good with kids. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, she was like, "Your head is red," and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Your head's red," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And so, like, she felt my head, right, in a very sort of concerned way, and then I felt my head. I was like, "God, I'm a bit hot." And I was like, "Mum, am I hot?" And then she was like, "Oh, actually," and because I was a hypochondriac as a kid, right? Just obviously back then I was soaking up everybody's pain, but I didn't have the knowledge to transmute it. I didn't know how to shift it. So sometimes I was genuinely ill, but a lot of times I would more say I was like I was feeling very down, or like as a teenager, I would even be, I dare say, even depressed. And it's because I was soaking up all the pain of anybody around me. Whereas now I know how to transmute it. But I mean, it can still be rough, especially in this kind of energy. But again, we're a stone's throw away from Aries energy, guys. I've never been so grateful for that change and new beginnings and that fire coming in. But the beautiful things about the Pisces energy, you know, are that unconditional love, kindness, compassion. And that's what I'm basically saying is, my wee niece was like, God, I was like, God, you'd make a brilliant nurse. Like, she sensed I wasn't feeling well before I did. And it's like when I sat down at the kitchen table, she was like she was coming up underneath me and putting a blanket over my legs. And then she was coming and putting a pillow behind my back. And it was crazy. And then she was just kept coming up and kind of either holding my hand or like stroking my head. And I just thought, like, I was actually nearly in tears with how mothering she was being. And then I'm just thinking about how funny it is that it's Mothering Sunday. And it was just funny because my mum was rushing about making the tea and that. And I was just kind of like, I was like, at least she's making up for like your lack of consent. Because I think she was just thinking, you know what I mean? It's not that big, because I hadn't even noticed I was ill, but it was, and again, I'm better now, but do you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, it's just really interesting how, like, kids sense stuff, you know, they just know. And like say, I'm going to be biased, but my two nieces they are very in tune, they are very psychic, but it's in there, it's not like me, it's not, others would miss that about them, you know, they wouldn't notice it, but it's something as simple as, by the way, this is totally not how I saw this video going, but that's fine, I'm an open channel, so I'll let whatever comes out. I asked for a sign, and I just pick random. I do it every day. Sometimes I do it every day, but it just depends how I'm feeling. But I asked for a specific sign, and I just pick something totally random most of the time, right? And for some reason, I was like, right, if I hear the word star or somebody talks about a star to me today, then that's going to answer this, right? So, and shit, you know it, right? As soon as I got to their house, right, I had my Converse on, and my oldest niece, the one that also picked up the paper, was like, "Oh, I like the star on your trainers, Auntie Claire." And I was like, "Oh my God." You're just like she hadn't even seen her for like, in fact, that hadn't even been 5 minutes, and I just thought, what? And you might think, oh well, the likeliness of hearing the word star is probably pretty high, but I mean, not really. You know what I mean? Like, I could have easily went through the day and I wouldn't have heard that word anywhere. But it was because of how quick it was, and it was because it was through her. I was just like, God. And then there was loads of other stuff. But that pebble that she found, that really hit me in the heart. Like, it really did, because I mean, I know for a fact that that's where a lot of the people tuning into me, whether you consider yourself divine feminine or divine masculine, because look, this is what's happening. For the people that resonates with, you're merging into one. So even if it's more one than the other, you're feeling the other one's pain. So yes, balance. Anyway, so there's all of that going on. What else was I going to say? But yeah, anyway, it's just beautiful, that, isn't it? It's like, so just, I hope if you've got children around you that are really sensitive to the energies like that and the subtleties that others don't sense or don't pick up on as easily. So it doesn't, you know, we don't shame people for not noticing the little things like that. But when people do, I think it's beautiful to recognise it. It's why, you know, when you see something beautiful, speak it. Like, I caught something today and I just, like, I mean, spin it, or God, the divine, just make it fly at my fingers. It's like, I just tell people, do you know what I mean? Like, I just said something, I hope you know how special you are. Do you know what I mean? It's yeah. And look, the power of prayer's still sticking out there. And yeah, so again, if you haven't caught that video I done for St. Patrick's Day, that is way more than whatever it's titled. I'm shit at titling things, guys. I'm not gonna, it's not a good affirmation, but I'm not gonna lie about that, right? I just feel, you know, my stuff's a bit of a hidden gem, as gems sticking out there. What's that card? Peril. Yeah, look, hidden gem. Oh, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? I don't even know how much. I better just, oh yeah, oh shit, it's gonna end. Oh no, that's so annoying. I was gonna, wait a minute, I was gonna read it from the book. Look at that, I'm going on about being a hidden gem, and if people realise how much it's going to help them, great. But the right people, the right soul family will find us when they're meant to. Strengthening bonds, this is going to happen if it hasn't happened already, so don't worry, those of you that are worried. Clarity, belief is coming. The person that's in extreme distrust is opening to, look, that guy's like, maybe I can trust them. because it's a butterfly. And then when they do, they're going to find out it's a well-deserved reward. Where's the Divine Feminine at? Boundaries. Divine Feminines have got their boundaries because that's what Divine Feminines teach Divine Masculines, because you have had your boundaries violated. So you teach each other, remember, and Divine Masculine has inner peace. Look at that. You're enough. So Divine Masculines, you're enough, and you'll realise it when you're meant to. And look, the guy's been in the garage. I knew he was going to come out. I just knew it. But that'll be for Mother's Day. Silver waterfall. Clear your chakras, right? As the time's going to run out. And we've got intimacy.